Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host Brian, and today I'm talking to Traitors UK. This is season 3, episode 1. First off, I want to say Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. This will be the first video of the new year. Exciting stuff. Sorry we haven't really had anything in the last week plus because pretty much everything we were covering is kind of fell on a Wednesday or on a Thursday. So like they're obviously not going to show some of these shows. We had Surviving Barstool take a couple week break until not I think the following week, and then we also have what did we have? We have a couple of Netflix shows end on Wednesday, so like we didn't have anything going on. Southern Charm was on Thursday, that didn't air. I think the only thing I was doing was the quick recaps of Love and Hip Hop Miami, which obviously not the biggest draw, but I mean that's not one of our major shows. So yeah, a lot of break here. It's gonna be back in the new year. Um, and this is airing. I'm watching this via a VPN, and it's on the BBC iPlayer. And the first episode aired actually today, but the second episode, if you are watching online, you can watch it early. So the episode is going to air tomorrow on BBC at at their time at 8. So if you're watching this, I am going to cover both episodes. Probably won't have the video out tomorrow, but we'll be back on Friday for episode 3. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And I'll tell you one thing that I really like that, like based off the second episode with the first challenge, is they actually made the challenge something more than just money. And I think that's kind of what takes it out of like what Bill and I would always say when we're watching these is just like obviously people want to win money, so it doesn't really matter. But this time they added a little twist there. I don't know if this could be just it could just be a one time the first challenge event, but we'll see if it continues or if they do like other little twists with it. I know they have the shields, but like it's just not the same like I don't know. I like the more team-based aspect here, but essentially there is an option where you can make money and you can also prevent any murders that night. So that I thought that was really cool. So we'll see what they do go moving forward. They also Claudia had another thing that she said that at the final round table where you're going to decide if you're who's going to win, you don't reveal who you are. So that's another thing to think about. I don't know if that will really. It's not really going to, I think, play an impact on the game until we're actually there. Um, but yeah, I thought it was good first two episodes. I do like Traders UK a lot. I might be in the minority, but I like Claudia a little more than I like Alan Tudyk. I just think sometimes he's just a little too much, and I think that Claudia is there. Like I like her yelling at the contestants during the challenge to get some more money. Like I just think I enjoy her as a host. I think she's funny. Um, that's just my preference. But I will pop up the list of the contestants here. I'm looking at a picture on my phone right now. This is from Reality TV News and Updates. They provide pretty good cast lists and like drops and stuff like that. But I'm gonna pop the cast up here. I'm just gonna run through quickly of what I think of everyone because we saw some of the people we didn't really get to see everybody. But yeah, that's how it is. We just got in the beginning here where you really focus on the traders. Like there's too many people. We start with 25 and we eventually get down to 22 in the first episode and then move into the next one where we have 21. I think we're at 21 currently. Episode's gonna start with 20. No, we're actually at 20. Yeah, because we see two roundtable exits. We have a cliffhanger on episode 1. We see the roundtable, the first roundtable, and then the second. Actually, we might be at 19. Yeah, because there's a murder. Yeah, so we're at 19 at the end of episode 2. But quick cast list, have it up here. Freddie reminds me of Harry from last season. There's a weird scene where they're talking about him, the watchtower, the traders are talking about him, and he's like showering. So they still have these like crazy, weird, like try to sexualize the contestants when they're talking about them. Like I think Keith at one point is like, maybe it's a joke, but he's doing like karate in his room. I don't know. Lisa, she is the priest, I think. She had a really funny quote where she's like, Claudia's asking her, "Can you be a traitor?" And she's like, "I'm a priest, not a saint. Like I can lie." So I thought that was pretty funny. That might be the title of this episode. But I thought it was really funny. Kasam, I think Kazim, he apparently like I think he was on Big Brother UK or something like that. He had a little bit of target action in the second episode. Olivia, I don't really remember hearing a lot from Olivia. Same with Leon. I mean, I think they had that little maybe one time, a couple maybe sentences at a round table, but we didn't really get a full, I felt, interaction with them. Jake, Jake has a little bit of attention on him as well. He calls out Linda for a head movement. Um, basically like a false start almost when Claudia is addressing the group when they first right after the traitors are announced. Nathan is another guy that again, and the interesting people I feel like kind of go like he could have been interesting to like he's one of the ones that leaves early, but he it would be interesting to see. I was gonna be interested to see like what he would have done. Alex, he had a moment of like he like not a lot there. He has some assumptions on who it is, but again, it's early. Everyone has their ideas and things like that. Mina, she is she's one of our first traders. She was like the call service manager, or like she works at like a call center. 29 years old. Interesting to see. I kind of like her gameplay so far. To me, she's definitely the one that the trader that has the least heat on her. Like no one's really talking about her. She's not getting overly involved in like conversations and like voicing her opinion a lot. I think that's like I don't know why these people don't watch previous shows. Like you need to have a some be able to back yourself up, but you don't want to be too your voice out there so early. That'll be one of the people. We'll get to in a little bit. Anna, she a little bit from her, nothing crazy. Linda, Linda is a 70-year-old retired opera singer. I kind of liked her. She's a trader as well. She has a spotlight on her from Jake. We'll see how long she lasts. I do like when the older people like are that we. I don't want it to be all young people on a show. I think it like doesn't really prove reality TV to me. Like I think it needs to be a wide net of different ages and races and things like that. Uh, she, I hope she sticks around. Like I thought she did a decent job of like covering herself, but I feel like people might still be on to her. Um, I liking her so far. I think she's only in the spotlight because people are bringing it up to her. I think if didn't have the heat on her, people were noticing like, hey, why aren't you saying anything? I think if she didn't have the heat on her from Jake, I don't think that would be an issue. Ellen, she right off the bat when the traders were chosen, she was like, there. I think there's a lot of strong women on this season. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like all women or like all the traders are women. So that is obviously a target. She kind of kills like not kills herself, but she kind of is her own worst enemy where she's crying and drawing a lot of attention to her, and she's actually the second person that is banished from the round table. Fazia, so she is one of the ones that gets eliminated on this twist in the beginning of the game. So in the beginning of the game, there's 25 people, but Claudia when they're getting on the train, Claudia's like, "Hey, we can only have 22 people in the game." So there's three cars of the train that have people contestants on them, and they have 10 minutes to somebody has to self eliminate, and every minute that you're in there, every minute is worth $1,000. So you want to try to get rid of somebody. You want to get if you want to make a lot of money, you want to get like everyone out there, but I think it was 10 minutes. I think it was like the whole group. It wasn't like one car did better, but like she was out. She was out in like in a minute 30. So she barely was on the show. And she's like, I'm done. She didn't even like have any like she's like, I'll just do it for the good of the team. The other person that did that was Alexander, who he was a British politician. I kind of wish he stuck around because I do like when the politicians are on the show. And the other one was Jack, and Jack was he had a couple jobs under his name, but I was kind of interested. I wanted him to stick around because he seemed like he'd be a big personality, and I didn't really want him to go too quickly. I'm wondering if maybe if there's a twist later, that maybe one of these three will come back. But yeah, bummed to see some of these people. I just want to see. He just seemed like he was like I would have liked to see him at a round table. That's really the only reason. Charlotte got a little bit of attention, some votes there, but again, don't really know too much about her. Keith, I liked Keith. He had a funny line with Claudia when he was talking about like, could you be a traitor? And he said, I've been lying to my wife for 35 years saying that her pasta sauce is good when I actually hate it. And Claudia's like, I don't think that's I don't think that's that's not gonna set you up for being a traitor. So I thought that was funny. And then he was doing karate in his bedroom. He's the first one to be um, like murdered by the traitors. And I just man, if it's a couple seasons, there was a guy last season that like was really funky and like had a interesting outfit choice, and we wanted to see. He didn't even make it. He was the first one out, and it was unfortunate. So it's just two seasons in a row. Like somebody I kind of like was looking forward to get to know a little more. That is exited early. Dan, Dan Tyler, these guys like have votes. I can't really tell you much about them. Leanne was the she claims to be a nail technician, but she's actually like an ex-soldier for 12 years. She kind of reminded me of Legally Blonde walking up. She had like a full pink blazer suit coming on onto the train. Armani is our final trader. She actually has a sister in the game, but man, she it's so funny how I think she thinks she's in such a good spot in this game as a trader. I think she's gonna be out in either tomorrow, Friday, or Monday, or next Wednesday. I can't see her last that long. She's talking way too much, has too many opinions, crying when her sister finally showed up, and it just too. I don't like where I don't feel any good faith about her being here that much longer. I really don't. Joe, again, don't really know much about Joe. We haven't seen a lot of Joe. Francesca, she got a vote. Again, haven't seen a ton of her like to be involved in some like gameplay. Maya is Armani's sister, so the twist is nice. I think some people do know about it because obviously she was crying at one of the breakfast people coming in to see who was murdered. She clocked her sister kind of immediately after the trader selection ceremony. She's like, something's kind of off about Armani right now. We'll see how long she's in the game and if like Armani actually will pull the trigger. She probably should soon, but it's that's gonna be an interesting dynamic because they know each other, and she's kind of getting an idea like, hey, I'm picking something up that she's not really acting like she normally does. So cool little twist. I like that. They've been done pretty funny things with UK where they had the people were dating, and I think the son, mother son last season. Just funny. And then last one was Yin. So Yin was the first one to be murdered by the. Did I say Keith was the first one murdered? I meant Yin. So Yin was the first, Keith was second. Yin she was very smart. She was comparing herself to like some moth that only lives for a day when she got the letter on the first night. Um, Again, we didn't really know much about her. She seemed pretty smart, and I think that's why she was a threat because of her intelligence level. Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, that's the thing about the show is like there's some characters that you want to get to know, but like that's the state of the game. Like people go, and there's two people, sometimes two plus people eliminated a week. So it's just that's just the way it is. I'll run through my notes real quick. Just about the episode, but I think like getting to know the cast, just so much is going on where it's just get to know the people. Let me know what you guys think of the cast. So far, I like the people. I do like civilian stuff. I think like the US one is cool with the celebrities and things like that. But I would really like to see like a celebrity version of that, and then also like a public, like civilian version of the US. I think it'd be really cool. I ran through the who the traders are. So the first challenge they won $7,000 because the last one, Alexander, the British diplomat, he left out. I think it's a 7 minute marker, so they got $7,000. Um, and like I said, Armani is talking a lot. She's in a lot of conversations, voicing her opinion. I think that's going to be her downfall pretty quickly. I think she'll be the first trader to go. Even though Linda has a lot of heat on her, I think people are kind of on to Armani here. Like, what's up with this chick? And then Ellen's just also she kind of dug her own hole. Like I said, she was the second person banished, and it's just like you want to voice your opinion when it's addressed, but you don't want to like something. All it shows me is these people didn't watch the show before. Their opinions are just so why are you being so opinionated and all this stuff with no evidence? It's just the Jack brought up a point where he's like Linda happens to be a traitor, but she can't get rid of him because then it would look suspicious. Like, oh, I brought this point up to Linda, and now I'm just he's mysteriously gone. So yeah, I don't know. It's just bringing it up at certain times. It just makes you look worse than you actually are, and it just you don't want to shine a light on yourself. And I feel like that's how the first couple episodes are of the show. Is like people shine the light on themselves, and that's like their ultimate downfall. All right, so the second mission, the first mission on the second episode. So this is where I was saying like they had a little twist where it's like you would have there's like a side mission along with the main mission of making money where you can save yourself with no murders tonight. So they had to go through the answer questions about stuff that was going on in the villa or the castle, or it's like how many chandeliers are in this room, how many people started on the show, things like that, and you would have to enter in a keypad to get it right. If you're wrong, it blows up. So any of the contents in there, whether it be gunpowder or money, is unusable at that point. And you would take the chest back. Each chest was worth £1,000. So the top prize you can get is £10,000. And then the gunpowder you had to fill up a barrel to a certain level before the 10-minute marker. And then Claudia would push like down the lever, and if it blew up, that means there was enough gunpowder in there. Was it what we don't know the level of it, what they needed to get, but it would make sense that like maybe they're making the faithful feel a little more comfortable than they actually are by giving them safety, but then they won't get it for maybe a few weeks. So I don't know, but I did like it. I like that it's just a different twist. It just because sometimes I feel like the challenges and for money just falls. It's just boring. So I'd rather see them conversing, suspecting people. That's why the round table is really good, and like some of the moments leading up to that's why the show's good, not the challenges. So it's a bright spot. So we'll see if it carries on into episode three, and if it's going to be something they stick with for the entire season. Is it going to go over to the US version? Like it's just cool. It's because the UK version starts around the same time as US, and it's almost like a blueprint. Like we watch this challenges that are on this because they feel like I think they're doing the same place. They do this very similar challenges, so it's just good to see like maybe this is going to move over the US version. So nice to know. Um, yeah, so they get I think they get 6,000 pounds, and they do have their safety. So and I think Armani was not answering questions correctly, and so that's a built a little. Some people had a little suspicion on her after this, like maybe she could be a traitor. Linda played like on the old card, so like just walking slowly, and I think that's something. I think Leon actually said it, and I know I said that he didn't have a lot of moments in these episodes, but he's the one I think who said in the confessional, like I can't really blame Linda for being slow because she is the oldest person here, and they were running through the woods, so. I think it was a good cover, like know who you are, and then maybe you can sneak up and maybe slow some people down. So it's like a little bit of sabotage here, and at least like we watch those terrible seasons of the U.S. Mall where it's like people are trying to self-sabotage and it just looks so fake. And at least like here, like you play to your intelligence and do some things that might help you out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The round tables are pretty self-explanatory. I thought like just a lot of talking, people shining lights on themselves. The fake crocodile, the Ellen was trying to not have crocodile tears. She started crying and a thing. And just like again, just don't put too much attention on yourself, and maybe you can get through these and squeak by. But I think the closing point here is even though there was no murder, the traitors go up into the watchtower and they have a conversation. So Armani actually tells Mina and Linda that like you guys aren't talking enough, and I could not disagree more. Like she's gonna watch this back and realize how dumb that she actually looks. Like she's making a big mistake of what just running her mouth so much and having all these opinions and being involved in conversations. Like I know Harry did it last season, but I think he built a little bit of trust. Like he wasn't doing it right off the bat. He was building like a case with like winning challenges, winning a lot of money, getting involved when he only had to, and then he kind of like started to do the hero ball at the end of last season. So yeah, let me know what you think. I thought it was a good start to the season. Even though it's episode two for maybe some of you guys will only be you'll watch tomorrow, but we will be back for Friday for the new episode for episode three. But I appreciate everyone for watching. Let me know what you think of the cast. What do you think of who do you think first trader out is. Uh, and I think that's all really we can speculate for now is where do we think who's the first one out? Because I think we're who's going to make it is too. There's still so many people left, but yeah, let me know. I will be back tomorrow. I think we have Southern Charm and might do Beast Games episode four. We did watch three, but we didn't do a video for it. But episode four, we might do video for that. But Southern Charm for sure. And Traitors US starts next week, and a couple other shows are starting very soon. So look out for that. We'll have our videos back up and get back into the swing of it for 2025. But appreciate everyone for watching. Hope you had an awesome New Year, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Peace.